What the fuck was this?
Uh-oh. I'm clearing out. I see your people's in you. I'm clearing out.
This is dope.
It was bullshit, is what it was.
Why?
I disagree.
Wait, no, I want Drip. Why is it bullshit?
I don't like Jeff Jarrett. I've never liked Jeff Jarrett.
This nigga's so emotional, yo.
Why?
I love how it's bullshit.
Look at him emotional.
Why you don't like Jeff Jarrett?
It goes back to me seeing him as a kid in TNA with the guitar and winning the title and the fucking My World song. It would just like, it would be PTSD to me. It'd be like, I'd hear, da, 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 and I'd get like the Kill Bill thing. Oh no, like Jeff Jarrett's coming out. He's going to hit someone with the guitar.
Starts beating up his brother.
I don't like Jeff Jarrett either, but I was just asking why.
He was Triple H of TNA as I started watching TNA. Like, there was one heel champion in the other company, and now there's a heel champion in this company doing the same thing, except for a Sledgehammer, he has a guitar, and he also wants to be Ric Flair, and isn't.
You think he's trying to be Ric Flair?
He was always trying to be Ric Flair. With the strut and the
Hearts told me he's not trying to be Ric Flair. I don't know if I believe it.
Rogers.
His strut was somebody. When he went
put a spin on it.
His run in the USWA being on top, and then when he went to WCW, it felt like, and I know that was a storyline, but he felt like he was trying to be a baby Flair or with his own spin. But I think my thing with Jeff Jarrett was, I just always thought he was corny. Like, regardless of anything, I just thought he was corny.
Same thing.
I think the one thing I always kind of think is important about a wrestling company, right, is that you have a base in the history of pro wrestling. Mm-hmm. And I think you need to have somebody who knows. And Jeff Jarrett's one of those people who has seen every single thing in the pro wrestling business. So I think it's a smart guy. WWE thought it was a smart guy to have.
They just had him
in behind backstage a few months ago. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I think it's a smart guy to have around. Do I think he needs to do a bunch of stuff on TV? No, and I don't think he's going to do a bunch of stuff on TV. I think he'll be there to be an OG.
I got two questions because they said he was on. Has he been with AEW in that executive I think it's business development?
No.
That was just announced. Yeah. So the first thing we saw was him in the ring, right?
Yeah.
Because he attacked. It was during the Darby Allin match.
Jay Lethal match, yeah. Darby Allin, Jay Lethal.
And Sting was there.
Cole Carter, who was 2 Dimes in NXT, was dressed as Sting and helped.
2 Dimes sound like a power bad guy, yo.
And helped Jay Lethal beat Darby Allin, and then the lights turned off and Sting's video played, and people thought Sting was actually going to show up, and Jeff Jarrett showed up instead. So it was like,
is there
reveal attacks for what reason?
Well, let me ask you a question, because the Muda's on his retirement tour, and I believe his last match is supposed to be the tag match with Sting. That's in January.
Yeah, shortly after that Nakamura match, they announced.
Have they announced who Sting and Muda were going to be facing?
Let me double check.
Because the last time I saw Jeff Jarrett anywhere, is why I bring this up. Facts. The last time I saw Jeff Jarrett was in for the Ric Flair match, to be, an OG hand who was getting beat. That's funny. I wonder if he's back to be kind of a hand in the Muda match. I don't think him and Muda have had any history, but
January 22nd.
So I mean, is that, I mean, when he immediately was inserted in a Darby Allin fake Sting situation, my assumption was he was going to be worked into something with them at some point. And I could see him being one of 2 people on the other side of Sting and Muda, or whatever that would be. Why else would he be there? Business development?
It seemed like. Oh, go ahead, Matt.
No, I had absolutely nothing to say about
the way he was. The way Jeff Jarrett was talking, he was kind of like hinting at like maybe a TNA invasion, but I think only in terms of like the people that are in AEW that started.
Savannah Evans, not Savannah Evans.
No, not the current Impact, and he has nothing to do with it. But it was just like, again, Jay Lethal was in TNA, Sanjay Dutt was in TNA, and the history that Jeff Jarrett and Sting have in the last 15 years, 17 years is them in TNA, even though they did have history in FCW, but it was them in TNA.
Them doing right what they should have done early quarantine when.
No, I mean they should have stayed off television.
I'm just saying, like they had a whole Impact AEW thing that it was a couple of matches, but they didn't really extend it. Maybe this is them actually going full with it. You're saying?
No, I think this is them.
No, I'm saying it's like Frankie Kazarian, Christopher Daniels, Samoa Joe, guys that were in Jeff Jarrett's TNA.
Yes, and
how many people is that's?
Yeah.
So that's like 5-6 people. Like
Christian K, just it would be something like that. That's how I interpreted it. But like again, it's like, why are they going to uprise? Because they were the foundation for what AEW now is.
But Alabama Powell asked a good question. I mean, where do people? Where do some of those older TNA people come? A Karen Angle was a big part of a lot of those TNA angles towards the end of that federation. If you do a real us versus them situation in Vangle, you're going to need more players, right? I could see an opportunity if they wanted to bring her in.
And so Hart says why half of them old niggas that was dead at least Jeff can go. I don't think they're bringing in Jeff to like wrestle big. I think
he ain't wrestling, son.
Nah, I mean he'll wrestle.
He's gonna wrestle.
Yeah, he's gonna wrestle
in shape.
But I mean, he's been in shape for like a year.
He can go. Point. No, he still goes. I get it.
He got in double shape to try to carry Ric Flair. It didn't work, but he tried.
That shit ain't work.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be honest. I don't see Jeff Jarrett there being a bad thing at all.
Do we know why he is no longer with? Because I feel like he was with WWE, and then I didn't.
Because I think Vince brought him in. That was all that was about.
So he's not there.
President of live events, right? That's what he was.
Yeah, but is he not there because Vince is no longer there?
Yeah, probably. That's my guess.
Because I'm not going to front. I mean, there's a reason why Triple H is walking back some of that stuff Vince was doing, and I wonder where Jeff Jarrett's got history, but I wonder where he sat on the side of being good for the WWE or just being a guy.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing. It's like I said earlier, man. Jeff Jarrett has been around forever.
For a while, yeah.
You know what I mean? He's seen everything.
He's
seen everything. So I don't see a bad unless you're bringing this nigga out to win championships. Now we're bugging. But if they,
I don't think that. Yeah, I don't know.
If they do, honestly, if they do with him what they've been trying to do with these old niggas, Jake Roberts and Sting,
the shit they should have did with CM Punk,
he'll be better. That's
out the ring.
If they do that stuff, it'll be better. It'll make sense.
As you see, like Jake Roberts is gone. They brought in Tully Blanchard and he's gone. Like Arn Anderson was on TV because
I think because they weren't good. They looked super like
they're old.
Yeah, they're very old. Jeff Jarrett doesn't look like them niggas look. He still moves.
No,
he can still go.
Yeah, I don't worry about. I don't care about the still go. I'm going to be honest.
I'm saying he can.
No, when I say he can still go, I'm saying he can get his old ass in the ring and move like somebody who can be a pro wrestler. Right. I'm not saying
we're not worried.
I don't need that nigga in the main event. I don't need him for a title, but he can get in the ring and put a match on.
And when I say he's not wrestling, I mean as on the roster as a wrestler. That's not going to happen. No. But he can get in the ring and wrestle. Yes.
Hart did ask a question though, which was because you did bring this up earlier. Why this is my thing. Them old niggas, a lot of them don't need I don't know if they really need a Jeff Jarrett at this point. Not as he could be a guy that could be there as an OG behind the scenes. They don't really need him in the ring for anything.
Let me ask you a question though. What OG voice does Tony Khan have? Over there.
He has.
What do you mean by OG?
Bryan Danielson is probably Brian, like guys like Brian. Mm-hmm. Honestly, the OGs that they have over there are probably a lot of the Kazarians, the Daniels, the Samoa, the people that were like the old ROH cats who are currently Colt Cabana's. Colt Cabana could probably be a really good OG for
I thought you meant like Arn Anderson, Dean Malenko, Jerry Lynn. Like
I don't know how often they're around.
A lot of those guys are
sidekick.
Yeah, they sidekick niggas, right?
Yeah.
The main voice in his ear, and I would assume like the leader of that locker room, their Undertaker, is got to be Chris Jericho, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Or Chris Jericho's done a great deal of pro wrestling, but he's never run a company.
But he's been everywhere and held a lot of titles. He's got a lot of cachet. You're right.
Correct.
Chris Jericho look worse than Jeff Jarrett.
He definitely does. They definitely 100% does.
No, that's good. That's good. That's good.
That is 100% fact. But he's also a better voice for a guy.
I think there's a reason for that, but I'm not going to say.
Not me. So I think Meals brings up an interesting point. If bringing on a Jeff Jarrett right now, if the plan is for to get your live shows going. It makes sense if you want someone who's been on those roads before. But that's why I said, like, he could be that guy backstage with a fucking headset on. He don't need to be in the ring.
It's like I said, he seems like he's maybe putting over this idea I came up with, but also like the relationship he had with Jay Lethal in the Ric Flair match. This is, I think, another thing that make Jay Lethal something, because they keep trying since he's gotten there and nothing's worked. Again, they gave him Sanjay Dutt and Satnam Singh, and like that, it's almost an anchor dragging him even further down when he was just the generic Jay Lethal babyface when he showed up. And now they have Jeff Jarrett, who might be his mouthpiece again, like his second mouthpiece.
For Jay Lethal,
if they would have bought Jeff Jarrett in with Jay Lethal from the rip
instead of Sanjay Dutt,
Sanjay Dutt, it might have been like, yo, you bringing me in and you got a nigga that's never mind.
No, but it's facts. It's Jay Lethal having to deal with Sanjay Dutt, and then the tall dude that they're really trying to put over. It don't work.
These niggas ass.
Yeah, it don't work. He's too good. He's too good to be in that position.
That's a fact. Give me Jeff Jarrett old ass. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that everybody hates. I don't care what you say, Hearts. Yeah. Everybody hates that nigga.
Yeah.
That everybody hates, and then we about to get the heat turned up in this bitch, because he gonna talk a lot of wild shit and then I can back it up wrestling. You know what I'm saying? And that's not what you did.
But yeah, it looks like they built him for an angle to be in the ring.
Yeah, they'll have a Darby Allin, Jeff Jarrett.
He's fighting Sting.
Jeff Jarrett, Sting, and Jay Lethal match. They'll have a tag match like that.
Fighting Sting.
Maybe it's that I don't care. Like I don't. None of those
would
people.
You care?
Well, no. What I'm saying, like, none of what you're saying is stuff that like I'm turning on AEW, because I already know. When you get Darby Allin and Jeff Jarrett in a ring in 2022, I already know what's going to happen.
Ooh.
The white guys, the ones going, somebody getting hit in the head with a guitar, someone gonna fall off.
That's been him the last.
I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it.
I don't want to see any of that shit.
I would much, and I appreciate everything that Jeff Jarrett brings.
You would rather see Colt Cabana wrestling?
I would rather hear because I didn't really get into the Colt match either. I would rather hear that Jeff Jarrett did a lot for AEW like 5 years down the road. You know what I'm saying? Behind the scenes, Jeff Jarrett was really instrumental in doing this. He was able to take all that knowledge and put it here. Once you introduce me with
Jeff Jarrett also has a lot of bad luck with companies
that he doesn't own.
Well, no, like he was like Vince Russo's prize, like you'll be my champion, and then they die. He creates TNA, and then he has to sell that to Dixie Carter. He creates Global Force. They almost fold within a year and have to merge with Impact. It's just like this guy.
It's because this motherfucker wants to be the guy.
Yeah, and I can see again, like I don't know why Vince hired him unless he's can make him was just trying to piss people off, but you could see that Triple H fired him for a reason. I think there's probably also some like click reasons, like stuff
I would assume, but if he was an executive over live events, I'm going to assume that Vince was trying to get some house show money going in and figure somebody who knew loops and fucking the road could have done this shit. But I think like the chat said, once Vince retired and Triple H got in there, Triple H had a list.
He's like, I don't fuck with you.
And he had a checklist that, Jeff Jarrett still here? Bet. Road Dogg, what you doing? We about to, I got a job. And he just been going down the checklist. It's really all it is.
For him?
But the live events is what they need, because I think as we've talked about in the past.
Did he pay you for that?
You ain't getting no royalties for that, did you?
You ain't getting no royalties for that?
I got
Get his ass out of here.
Yeah, don't worry. I got you, Road Dogg. Don't worry.
You are on the motherfucker.
What you were saying, Trip?
they need live events because, again, as we've said, there are some people who haven't progressed or are being underutilized and that need more experience. And a match on Dark or Dark Elevation isn't going to help. And they're also, again, getting injured because they're not consistently wrestling. And if they're not allowed to work certain indies, then they're just waiting and sitting there getting rusty. Like someone like Hook should be on live events. Jay Cargill would probably help her to have matches more often besides Dark Elevation or Dark, whatever one she was on this week. But like,
don't talk about WCW 2000 at all.
We watched WCW 2000 in Dallas, and it was the worst wrestling
I lived through it.
We had seen.
That shit is not good.
Black John Studd loved it though.
No, it's entertaining. It's entertaining if you like watching train wrecks. But like,
what did Pam say? You said Terry Funk had Adidas cowboy boots. Like,
it was the wildest thing I ever seen in my life.
That shit was
awful. I said, give me a pair of those right there. I say, oh, this nigga tripping. Where'd he get them?
My Adidas.
Stumped on niggers next. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
I'm funny to me. I don't care.
Wait till the fingers. Wait.
Let me look at this this doc. Should we that's how
we getting out this bitch early tonight.
We still gotta go. I got one question though. Lamar Jackson was there.
Yo, Lamar Jackson had a wild week. This nigga was at the flea market on Sunday buying hats. Yeah, I don't know. Lamar Jackson is too much of a man of the people. I don't know what he's gonna do this
Shout out to Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson was actually in my seats.
He looked like he did. All right, I'm pulling because when I was watching, like does he want to be there?
No,
he might have been high.
You talk about paid appearances for Rick Ross. They dropped a bag for Lamar Jackson.
He might have been high.
His hair always looked like that, or he get his hair done for the game.
No, he probably get his shit done for the game because this shit be fresh.
No, they don't.
Them dope boys be fresh.
No, they don't. They look like
yes,
somebody
they do.
His hair with their feet.
Shit, that's how my mama be having moo shit fresh. I guess she did it with her feet.